To bring you news that's made the headlines this week. Are you ready for me? All right, I'm going to start with the Nigeria's transportation industry, where the President Bola Tinubu commissions 30 CNG buses utilizing natural gas to power Nigeria's transportation industry as an economic necessity Nigerians should embrace. Now, President Bola Tinubu made this statement on Monday at the State House in Abuja when he formally commissioned 30 compressed natural gas CNG buses produced to ease transportation problems with 3,000 passenger capacity. The president says energy innovation will bring prosperity and enhance our transportation system. The Depot and Petroleum Product Marketers Association of Nigeria donated 20 of them, while the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, donated the rest to the federal government. Moving on, independent petroleum marketers in Nigeria projects that petrol may sell for 600 naira per litre with Dangote refinery depending on its production cost. The National Vice President of the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, Ahmed Fashola, disclosed this in a statement on Monday. His comment comes amid indications that $20 billion refinery will no longer commence fuel production in mid-August 2024, contrary to the president of Dangote Group, Aliko Dangote's earlier projection. In other news, Jonathan Buhari and other National Council of State members passed votes of confidence on Tinubu. The National Council of the State members has passed a vote of confidence in the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The council, which includes former presidents Goodluck Jonathan and Muhammadu Buhari and former heads of state Yakubu Gowon and Abdulsalami Abubakar, praised President Tinubu for his efforts to address Nigeria's pressing challenges and stabilize the nation. The meeting held at the presidential Villa Aso Rock was presided over by President Tinubu, marking his first Council of State gathering since assuming office. Moving on now, the House of Representatives has withdrawn the controversial counter-subversion bill stipulating that any Nigerian who refuses to recite the national anthem shall be fined 5 million naira or face a 10-year imprisonment sentence, or even both. The withdrawal followed the outrage and opposition that trailed the provisions of the planned legislation, which many have described as anti-democratic. It was earlier reported that the lower chamber is proposing a bill that prescribes, among others, that anyone found guilty of destroying national symbols, refusing to recite the national anthem and pledge, will face a fine of 5 million naira. Now, moving on to another story, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has donated the sum of 50 billion naira to support the Nigerian Education Loan Fund. This was disclosed by the Anti-Graft Agency on Tuesday, August 13, 2024, when the fund's managing director and chief executive officer, Mr. Akintunde Sawyer, led its management team on a courtesy visit to the EFCC headquarters in Abuja. Sawyer noted that the fund, an initiative of the President Bola Tinubu-led administration, was designed to provide funding for the education of indigent students. Olukoyede tasked the NEL Fund board to give reports on the disbursement of its money to the EFCC while stressing its commitment to ensure the 50 billion naira donation isn't reluted. And moving on to another pressing story that broke is a Chinese firm, Zhong'an Fuzheng Industrial Investment Company Limited, has released one of the seized Nigeria's presidential jets. Recall that the Chinese firm had secured a court order to seize 3 Nigerian presidential jets pending when Zhong'an receives $74.5 million awarded to it against Nigeria. The company had a business dispute with the Ogun State government, which led to this significant legal action. In a statement issued on Friday, a company spokesperson said the release was a gesture of goodwill, acknowledging that Nigerian President Ahmed Bola Tinubu requires the aircraft for a scheduled meeting with French President Emmanuel Macron. Now moving now to African stories outside Nigeria, the African continent is experiencing a new wave of mpox. This is why the World Health Organization declared global emergency over new mpox outbreak. Take a listen.
The detection and rapid spread of a new clade of mpox in eastern DRC, its detection in neighboring countries that had not previously reported mpox, and the potential for further spread within Africa and beyond is very worrying. In addition to other outbreaks of other clades of mpox in other parts of Africa, it's clear that a coordinated international response is essential to stop these outbreaks and save lives. WHO is on the ground, working with the affected countries and others at risk through our country and regional offices, as well as with partners including the Africa CDC, NGOs, civil society, and more. For example, we're providing machines to analyze blood samples and confirm cases of mpox. We're supporting laboratories to sequence viral samples. We're on the ground supporting case investigation and contact tracing, risk communication, and community engagement. We're training health workers and supporting clinicians to provide appropriate care. We're supporting countries to access vaccines and develop the strategies to roll them out, and much more. WHO is committed in the days and weeks ahead to coordinate the global response, working closely with each of the affected countries and leveraging our on-the-ground presence to prevent transmission, treat those infected, and save lives.
And finally on the news, President Cyril Ramaphosa has appointed the Defense and Military Veteran Minister Angie Mutshega to act as president. This is because Ramaphosa is on a visit to Harare, Zimbabwe, to participate in the 44th Ordinary Summit of Heads of State and Government of the Southern African Development Community. Mutshega is the first to be appointed acting president under the Government of National Unity. The move has been hailed as a recognition of women as the country celebrates Women's Month.
Thank you for watching. This